randomly.
Hi, Lumen. Hi, Jack.
They say hi. Jack just says shoo.
Sheesh, I know.
What is that?
I
keep seeing videos about people doing the longest sheesh, or I don't know what it is.
It's like yeah, boy. It's like I'm gonna do the longest yeah, boy. Like,
I mean,
yeah, but what is
something
sheesh?
It started out with like, I don't know where it like started out, but sheesh is. I mean, you know the expression sheesh.
Well, I know,
like that.
I know that. But
people, I think it might have just been like Valorant streamers started saying it, but saying it in that specific way. The one specifically that I know of that does it is puns, but
Valorant streamers.
There's a streamer just named Puns.
Punz.
How'd they snag that username?
I don't know. It kind of like the person that like popped on Felix and I's stream the other day, like a month ago, whose name was Feet, just Feet. And I was like, you are just wow. That's impressive. I straight up.
You get people to pay you for that username.
Exactly. Only
yeah.
Feet.
Puns is cool. He also does Minecraft speedrunning.
I could never.
Technically, if Minecraft has end credits.
I hear Lumen laughing in the background.
All right, hi everyone. Welcome to the stream.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Oh no, I don't have a rhyme.
Oh shit.
So we're gonna introduce ourselves.
Also, Dylan, your name.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna introduce ourselves, starting with Ruby. Ruby, go. You have no time. Go now. Start.
Make a rhyme.
Rhyme. Go. Do it.
Something about politics. Go.
If you can't rhyme, you lose a level. No pressure.
You get disadvantage on everything.
On every roll.
Hold on.
Okay. Well, hi. I'm Kit. I play Anna, the cleric barbarian tiefling who simps for all the MILFs in this thing, and I've been told that I can't reasonably say that Anna sims for MBs because we actually have not seen her sim for any MBs yet. So
big yet on that one.
It's just MILFs for now. Yeah, the big yet. Have I stalled long enough, or should we just? How's the weather? It's lovely, isn't it?
I can't find any rhymes for politics.
Politics. I don't know.
or it could be like, I'm sure there's something that rhymes with like court or like intrigue or something. Anyways, speaking of, I'm Felix. I play Kiva, the only person who is going to be competent this episode.
I'm Dylan. I play Ruby, who a monk druid who's ready to be critical of these. Oh no, I had one and I lost it. Damn it.
That was. I thought you got it. I was really excited.
Oh, I'm critical of these political schemes. That's what it was.
As bars.
I did it.
There we go.
So proud.
I'm Leah.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm Leah. I play Stunna, a half-elf necromancer who really enjoys raising the dead, not in combat.
Yeah, and just petting them or be like, wow.
Yeah, look at what I made.
I did that. Wow.
Yeah. It's the wizard with no utility.
I have to be completely honest. I don't remember what is happening.
We're in politics.
The town is becoming a capital, the new capital city, and Triana needs us to help her with that.
With all of that.
So Ruby will be making intimidation checks exclusively.
Yep.
Would court rhyme with court but like the other one, because you got the court with a C,
yes,
and court with a Q.
Then Anna's trying to court people at court. That's it. That's just
wait. I'm sorry. Did you just say court with a Q?
Court.
Oh,
yeah,
court.
Oh yeah,
like
a court.
The unit of measurement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Sneep Snop, wanna take it away?
No.
All right.
Did you just say Sneep Snop?
Yeah, that's the name.
That's his name in
okay.
Zoom.
Taking up Sneep Snop. Will, our lovely DM, also known as Sneep Snop.
Yeah, that's someone, I guess.
Seems like a Dr. Seuss knockoff.
That's
Sneep
me.
Snops.
Yeah.
Best way.
I'm a Dr. Snooze. I'm a Dr. Snooze.
Dr. Snoops.
Dopper Snooze.
I'm a Dr. Snooze.
Dr. Smoops.
God, I said it again. I'm a Dr. Seuss knockoff in that I treat my wife correctly.
What is Shannon? Why are you
That's
Shannon
fire.
again on the stream?
It's
Shannon?
Shannon again.
Oh,
Oh.
nice. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Was
Anyway-
it?
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
It wasn't supposed to be. When we last left our quote unquote heroes,
What?
He saved the world.
Nobody
as I
knows
said,
about it, but
is
we
that
did
really
it.
a heroic deed?
Yeah.
That was a
mean,
new philosophy stream.
The thing is, what would we do if we didn't save the world? Like, Kiva saved the world, sure, but they're hardly a hero. They only did it because they didn't really feel like dying at that particular moment. Thanks.
It was like, better not. Nah.
You guys
We did it so we wouldn't disappoint Triana. Let's be real.
Okay, yeah. That's the real reason. Like, Anna
Ruby
did it
just
because
really wants to know what's on the other side of those mountains. That's
Anna did it because she wouldn't be able to meet all the pretty people otherwise.
Kiva wants a sword.
The party
We all
has
have ulterior
made their
motives.
way back to Mildr, the town where everything really started.
To go
That's it.
downhill.
No,
It
just
just
started.
started.
Everything
It's
really just
called
started in Mildr.
Mildr?
Yep, Mildr.
I didn't know it was Millager.
I didn't know. I don't think
Villager
we've
the
ever heard the
villager.
name of it before.
Mildr the Villager. Yep.
Yeah.
It is
No,
a town.
I remembered that it started with an M, but I don't. We haven't like said the town name
Yeah.
in
It's
been
so
like 6
long.
months
It
or
is,
I lost
whatever.
my
it is
notes.
a town in the middle of the woods, filled with nothing but farmers and
Quality.
no woodsmen.
All racist. They're getting better, but still racist.
Getting better. Yeah. I mean, what do you expect from ostensibly a town full of upstate New Yorkers?
Yo, don't make me want to burn them down even more.
Oh my god. They're from Orange County.
Oh god, no.
There's no fucking trees in Orange County. This is
That's true.
There's no trees in Orange County. What do you think?
As someone who grew up with the South, I am intimately acquainted with the type of people who live in that town.
It's a great time.
But regardless, it seems that because of the actions of our party and the actions of their friends and associates, the town has become the hub of all the goings-on within the new continent. Previously, it was the port town that they had caused some property damage to, but
a little
with
bit.
both the
A lot.
both the influx of monks, adventurers, mercenaries, as well as the nearby pretty much wish-granting dungeon that has become a extremely lucrative revenue stream for the town. It has been determined that the capital should be moved to here.
All within a couple weeks, too. It has been like a month and a half since we got kidnapped and dumped outside this nowhere town, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
it's becoming the capital.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe-
talks were already in place. You guys just made a much more attractive-looking town up here.
We're just that cool.
Um,
Honestly, people should stop shivering in fear when they see all of us. They should just be like, yes, bringers of luck. We clearly bring only good vibes wherever we go.
Yes,
We-
not like we brought a literal dragon's, void dragon's heart
100%
somewhere.
not. No, definitely
Yeah,
not.
Though to be fair, we didn't. That was the mercenaries.
We didn't. We definitely didn't leave a town
yeah,
like
Pole's fine.
puppets or anything. Yeah, Pole is totally fine. We don't even talk about Pole because it's just that fine.
again. That's not really our fault. We didn't do that.
We might have
Well,
instigated it, but I mean, we didn't
mean,
do anything. It was completely
would they?
not.
Here's the thing: would they had done it if Stenna hadn't been there? Why do they
Stenna's
want
the
Stenna
victim.
so bad?
She was being child trafficked as a weird puppet girl.
That's
this-
a weird
this-
puppet
this-
girl.
It's
Stenna-
still.
They're the bad guys.
I'm
Okay,
not
I love
victim
child-
blaming Stenna. Oh my god. I'm not.
I love the
Stenna-
title of the stream is called Homewreckers because it's completely any arguments that we're not that is
Also, you're the one who keeps yelling, "Honey, I'm home," when bursting into random establishments. So
What if Triana actually has a boo thing and I'm a homewrecker?
I'm
Have
sorry.
you
Did you just
You're
say
not
a
a
boo
homewrecker.
thing?
Has a boo thing.
I will leave.
I think you
But
should
then
ask
we'll have
Triana
to change the overlay.
exactly that.
Hey
I'll do
Triana,
it.
do you have a boo thing?
have a
Yeah,
boo
that'll go
thing?
over real well
Casual.
in front of all the council members.
I have
God.
no
No,
idea
it's gonna
what
be
that
Anna
means.
like just like twiddling her fingers. and
Speak
being
to
like,
Triana.
You have a boo thing, and like with an ooh woo voice, it has to be that way. That's the only way.
Do you have a boo thing?
Yeah, exactly like that.
What does
Then it
that
just gets
mean?
really drunk next time.
A
and
partner.
goes
boo
up-
thing? A boo thing is it's a really
Will's leaving.
I can
I'm
keep
not on
talking
the
like this
internet
if
enough
that's the
for
problem.
this.
Yeah, no, it's a really old like slang word for partner. Like, it's-
think it's exceptional.
I don't know. I haven't thought about that phrase in years.
I use a lot of really snazzy phrases. It's just you can't.
I feel like this is a good example of character difference because Stena would just get super drunk and go up to Triana and go, "You got a side hoe, bitch."
And it like uses like old time speak.
Good old fuck up a Tarrasque.
No,
What
Bring
does
it
it
on.
say?
Tarrasque.
But I don't know what
It says
that is.
Tarrasque. It's a horrible, horrible monster.
It's one of the notoriously hard monsters in D&D.
Look, can we get
It
back to
cannot be
politics?
damaged.
I don't know
by-
if this is a punishment
It-
for me calling Triana, like asking if Triana has a boo thing, or
I think
if
it's just that we're not playing the
Felix's
game.
ooh-woo voice. Times 4?
Times
Oh,
4.
I thought that said Tarrasquerie.
It's just where they're born.
Okay. Anyway, to finish the
Yes.
sentence I was on,
sorry.
introducing what was happening earlier.
So sorry.
LMAO. Get
Alright.
wrecked.
Triana has asked for your assistance as it seems something has happened and the delegates that previously were going to go with Triana as the leaders and other representatives of the town for some reason cannot. You are informed that this is happening first thing in the morning tomorrow. And that is where you now are, with Triana asking if you will help.
Yes.
First thing Kiva does is run back upstairs, change into their fancy clothes, and then come back down.
Of course.
Just like straighten up, look over the others, sigh, and then
Ruby has fancy clothes.
yeah, they look slightly less in Ruby's direction.
Anna is gonna like try to be suave because like last time she did like burst open the door, was like, "Honey, I'm home." That was she's understood that she's not as suave as before. Also, she did just do a ritual. I'm not sure if everybody remembers this, but like she did summon Stena in the middle of our room. And so Anna has now figured out that she is a very accomplished summoner, and so
oh,
clearly
good God.
more desirable to Triana. So she's gonna like kind of like pop a hip and be like, "Only if you're
Hip
there,
up.
sweet thing."
Sorry, I was threatening to turn the camera on my brother because he was
Harassing.
doing Fortnite dances
Nice.
and dabbing.
All right. Triana,
Oh god, I feel the regret.
I don't understand where Anna gets her confidence from at all.
Doesn't know
She's
he-
not earned it in any way.
That's not.
No one has
Completely
ever
unfounded
positively
confidence.
received any of the things that she has done.
Except for Calliope, and Calliope was because of pity.
And even then, you donkey lipped a grape out of her hand.
Stop talking about that.
Oh my god! Wait until we get to a bookstore. Shit's gonna go off. the chain.
Oh no.
Triana, with her focus clearly set on Kiva, goes,
Mhm.
"So, when you get to the town, and when you meet with the councilmen, they are going to want to..." She is pointedly ignoring you. And your statement...
Anna still has a hip popped and is kind of like, it has like a hand exposed, like, you know, like that moat that like has its hand out. Like
Kiva is just blocking it out at this point. Just
Like,
like,
Stena,
It's still doing like a cheesy grin, like, yeah? Like expecting her to answer.
Triana just goes, turns to you, Anna. You do realize I am older than your entire bloodline, right?
Perfect.
Her entire frankly, I mean, considering just
Wait.
who her father is, that
Yeah.
would be extremely impressive.
Anna didn't even think of that and just said perfect. Just like
He was like immediately like, her dad's literally
Triana's just gonna keep staring at you like.
Anyways, go on.
Anna
What
is
were you
melting
saying?
because under the look of like
So
really
yeah,
hot.
when we meet with the council members,
They are going to try and deal with the town in a certain way. With a capital comes certain benefits and certain costs. There is a tax that needs to be paid, as we are now becoming an official part of the Empire. But just as well, there is supplies we receive, infrastructure we get, food we desperately need. As she looks around and goes, as there are hardly a farm in sight, and we have to import everything in. Costs an arm and a leg. If we could get whatever kind of benefits possible for the town would be great, but unfortunately we don't have much to offer, and they know that. So
We have a magic cave that grants wishes.
And
Yeah.
they want
Actually,
it. They want it
Yeah.
exclusively.
tough luck they can't move it. Anna says very confidently.
all right.
They can't move it, but they can
They
install a
can't.
military border, a military cordon around it, and make life in our town a living hell.
Wait, these dignitaries want that shit? They want it as
Of course they want the magic cave that grants wishes.
but like
That's what
They-
every government wants.
they're from across the pond. Like they're like they can't like just they won't be able to like, get all the shit that they need.
Everyone
would
here
travel is
from across the
dangerous.
pond. What
Anna-
are you talking about?
Anna,
They're
do
on
you,
another continent.
Anna, do you
So is
know
everyone.
who these?
Everyone else. Everyone
Do
here is
you
from-
know who these people even are?
Spicy boys.
They are the most powerful people in the entire kingdom. They're more powerful than pretty much anyone else on either continent,
Except the actual royal family.
Yeah. except for
Anna
the
shoots
actual
finger
royal
guns.
family.
That's what she understands.
Okay, if they want something, they will get it. It's our job to make sure that we get something in return.
So they'll take the thing even if we don't
Yes.
give them the thing.
Yes.
Is that allowed to take the thing?
For them, pretty
They're
much
rich,
anything
it doesn't
is.
matter.
Yeah, for them, anything's allowed.
I've changed my name on stream. You've inspired me.
Spicy boys.
Spicy boys.
Spicy boys.
Good God.
I'm so glad.
All right.
Uh,
So our
alright.
job, we have to make the town seem valuable enough to be worth having here.
Or we just make
Slight-
ourselves a big
slight
enough pain in
issue.
the ass that they don't want to deal with it.
So
But that's a last resort, I think.
Triana, you know or knew the Grand Artificer. This thing just popped into existence here. Do we know if it will disappear anytime soon? Because that's a slight issue.
Well,
Yeah.
as far as this goes, I can say that I don't think it'll disappear, because I think it was at least I can at least somewhat think that it's always been there, just very, very buried.
Like obscured or
Okay.
something?
The best
So then what on earth did?
there was
Us.
a massive earthquake.
Oh.
Oh. Sorry, that was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
totally. There was if you remember, there was a massive, massive earthquake.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
you-
that
you-
at all.
That
it-
was Triana's fault, wasn't it?
It
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
And also
Oh,
ours.
that one.
It was
That one,
also
okay.
our fault because we also exploded the factory, but
Yeah.
like
But
the tunnels in the town she took care
Details.
of. Yeah, you know.
anyway, she goes and she thinks for a second before. There's one other idea I have, but it's somewhat of a long shot. The reason that I believe this town was originally commissioned to be built was for, as she points around her, like she gestures in a wide sweep around herself, for the wood and the trees. The reason why this stretch of continent is called Warmwood is the trees themselves are very unique. They seem to be almost self-sustaining and produce their own heat.
Okay.
We
Are
don't
you
have
saying if I,
anyone in
like-
town who can harvest this wood, so it hasn't been much of a ready export, but it is something that could potentially be very valuable.
What would you?
Mhm.
What's causing the issue in harvesting the wood?
No one knows how to, I'm
This
assuming.
is a town full of farmers.
Yeah.
I mean,
It,
like
it would take
axe,
some pretty
chop, 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 chop.
I imagine it
People
would take
squish.
Yeah,
People
I imagine
squish.
it would take some pretty advanced lumberjacks and or magical experts to be able to harvest the trees in a way that their unique qualities could be taken advantage of.
As you're saying this, Anna's already walking to the nearest blacksmith and like trying to get an axe because she thinks that she can do this. She's like, I can fucking take
Alright.
down a tree.
You know what?
You find an axe readily available for about 5 copper pieces.
Kiva is
Awesome.
encouraging
Throw it
this
down.
because they just want Anna out of their hair for today. Like they cannot deal with anything that she's gonna be doing.
All right.
Anna's ready with the lumberjack energy.
Anna, are you trying to cut down one of the wormwood trees?
Yeah, I just want to. I'm
Alright.
gonna go up to someone random and be like, "Is that a wormwood tree?"
They nod and gesture at every tree in the forest.
And I was like, "Cool," and like throws finger guns again, and then just like starts marching off into the forest.
Why is it beneficial that the trees are warm?
They produce
I
their own.
can't-
They produce their own heat, therefore produce their own energy.
They can be harvested as an essentially unending energy source.
But that's not how. But how would it continue to generate energy
Yeah, that's
as
something
It's
after it was
magic.
chopped down?
It's magic.
Is that the? Okay.
I'm assuming that that's at least part of the problem.
Yeah.
Otherwise, these people would have no issue with like they wouldn't need like firewood.
It
or
is part
whatever.
of the problem. But also, Anna, make me a strength check.
Right. I almost forgot how D&D works. That is. Where's my modifier? A 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
All right. There is a swing your arms back, swing forward at the tree trunk. There is a tink as your hand, as the axe bounces off the tree trunk, and your hand gets a very painful vibration up it, almost numbing it, as you collide with a very, very firm trunk.
And I think you should just keep trying, you know?
And it's like, looks at the axe and goes, "Shitty make," throws it down, goes back to the blacksmith to get another axe.
He's got another one, but this time it costs 7 copper. He says
Does
it's
it look
better.
better?
Yeah,
Does
he
it look
says it's
better?
better. It
Is
looks
Anna
polished.
aware of the fact
Let
that
me
it takes
investigate.
like hundreds of axe hits to fell a tree?
No.
Or
Let me investigate.
okay.
Okay.
I will investigate. That's a fucking.
So
That's a. That's a 3.
It's a polished axe.
Awesome.
Shiny.
I take it. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
You are spending all of our money.
My
Copper
money.
is nothing.
No, that is true. But
out of
Okay.
curiosity, Remus modified these trees, right? Like he was the one with his troop in the forest, like living and cutting down the trees, right? So would he know what we could do to manipulate them?
Okay. I will. Can I roll a nature check or perhaps insight into the best way to fell this tree?
Sure.
Stella's gonna go and try to find Remus if he's still here.
That was a nat 20.
Okay, you get advantage on your next chopping check.
I'm gonna march back up to that tree.
All right,
Feel
make
like
me
I
a
got my
strength
fucking
check
ass
with
up.
advantage.
That was a fucking nat 1. And that was an unnatural 20.
Okay, so the axe collides at an angle that you think would be better to felling the tree. There is a moment where it catches against the bark. There is a resistance, and then almost like a... It's strange. It doesn't feel like tree bark so much as it feels like you're almost crushing through a crystalline layer. As your axe goes through the bark, and there is a much softer sensation as from the bark begins to ooze and gush extremely large amounts of absolutely beautiful smelling sap.
I'm gonna grab some of my vials that I have from the temple and just like kind of put it along like around like the base of the stump to try to collect that sap while I continue to
Okay.
chop.
As you get extremely close to the tree trunk to put the vials next to the sap, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Do I have advantage because it's about heat?
Sure.
Cool. A natural 20.
Okay. So you manage to move out of the way before you start to actually burn. You take about 4 points of fire damage, however. As
Is it halved or is that already
yes,
halved?
it is halved. As
Okay.
the vials, all pretty much as they get close to the lovely smelling sap, melt.
Oh, diddly darn. And
Oh,
it's
so
just
these
gonna...
are hot. These are like, whoa.
And it's gonna kind of call down from like the hill, because I'm assuming that there's like a hill or something, and be like, anyone got a
The sap now getting to the bottom of the
hot
base of the
bucket?
tree and flowing onto the dirt and grass around it begins to light small fires.
Oh my god.
We need a bucket, maybe some water. Anybody got a
Ruby's
fire?
gonna cast create
bucket?
water on it.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Like
if we
just
got,
around the base of the tree.
yeah, if we got maybe something cool, like physically cool, but also like like structure. Like wow, that's super cool, man. Like to like collect the sap. That'd be really cool. I think that could be a good bargaining chip. But like I'm gonna just keep chopping this tree. Otherwise,
Does the axe melt at some point?
Oh, the axe is melted.
Yeah.
I grabbed the one
Like
that
Anna
I threw
Anna
down.
pulls back on the axe and it's like someone took a bite out of it.
How far have I cut into it?
Like a small chop.
Oh, I thought I did more than that. I pick up the other
Trees
axe.
take
that
a long time to cut down with an axe.
I pick up the one that I threw down, and I was like, I look at it and go, "Don't disappoint me again."
It's gonna disappoint you.
I start chopping again.
Alright, so hitting the wound that you previously made to make it deeper, there is a soft splorching sound as the axe digs in really, like, so much deeper than you thought before, and you keep pushing, and then you realize you're just holding a axe handle as the head has completely melted.
Oh heck! You
Does
disappointed
Triana
me.
have anything else to say to us? Because I feel like we kind of got
Yeah,
sidetracked.
no, I would have
I
turned
don't
back
know
to
what
her
we're
and go,
doing today.
Did
Yeah,
anybody
like-
hear my cry
Because
for
I can
help?
try and figure out how to cut down these trees, but I
Triana
don't know
goes,
if that's
Yeah.
going to help us with the politics.
I would like
need,
to
like, a
know
water jet.
exactly who we are dealing with.
Yes.
And if you're going to meet with them along with us, or if you have other things to attend to.
Anna's trying to.
I
flip
will
this
be
out.
there.
I think it would be extremely unwise to leave it to just us to talk to these people.
No, I will be there.
Very much so.
Okay, that is good.
You hear Anna going, "Oh, jeez, fuck." Does anybody have more vials? I think the sap's finally cooling down now. I think we just need actual vials to pick this up.
It generates its own heat. They're not cooling down.
Do you perhaps have some sort of activity for Anna to do? Maybe she could help out with the tavern for today?
Oh no.
Eva is doing their damnedest to make sure that Anna does not fuck this up.
You see
'Cause-
Triana nod, And then you see you could almost swear that there is a tear in her eye as she goes, "Unfortunately, they're expecting all of you."
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's
Okay.
been, like hanging out in the tavern with the guy that Anna started flirting.
Wait, do they know who we are? Did they request us?
It seems that they have indeed requested the presence of as they put it, someone with the standing to at least look at the ground they walk on, I believe.
What is that?
Okay.
I don't.
As in,
Right.
like common folk?
Well, I mean, part of it might be that Anna at least has no idea who these people are. But okay, who exactly are we meeting with today? I know we're meeting with the Grand Salamence Teresi,
Yes.
but I don't know any of the other council members that are here by name.
So we have the Grand Salamence Teresi, as you do know.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we have
Wait, is Salamence a title or a name?
Grand Salamence is her title. Teresi is her name. We have Lord Brandlebaum.
Anna calls up from behind the trees. That's a funny name.
Triana calls back, "I know. Don't laugh at it."
It's 100% gonna be snickering.
Okay.
As I was about to say, the name is unfortunately a very touchy subject.
Right.
Oh, sad.
Will, out of character, which one is it? Which one is you're gonna need to give me the rundown on all of these.
Of course.
Like, is this one like one of the elves?
So yeah, Lord Brandlebaum is a very unique case. So it is technically an elvish lord, ruled over a a majority half elven kingdom. As Lord Brandlebaum is the very unique and unfortunate mix between an elf and a dwarf.
Oh.
Man's is a dwelf.
So just a thin
Dwarf.
dwarf.
Yeah.
A thin, sickly dwarf.
Aesthetic can relate after the whole prison incident.
he actually went the other way, where he's very tall, very buff, with a very strong beard, and probably the most fair tenor voice.
Okay. Right.
He's as you know, as you would know, Kiva.
Mhm.
This man is probably not the one to make the lowly peasant comment, because he is not one to obviously show his disdain for lower classes.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Uh,
Considering that I am sure that anyone who meets him is not intimidated at all.
no, they're not.
I'm sure he has a lovely singing voice.
Oh,
However,
he does.
he's the guy with the balloon in that vine.
Yeah.
The kingdom he once ruled over, he called it Bramblethorn, was the name of the extremely redundant. I like redundancy, as you know, Bramblethorn. My thorn. Is the name of their capital. He's not one for creativity, but they are basically the information nervous system of the kingdom.
Okay. And Grand Salamence is
Grand
what
Salamence
race?
is a she is a red dragonborn, but her scales shine in such a way where you could almost say that she's part of the chromatics instead of the it's almost like a ruby shine to it.
Okay.
Anna, do your best not to flirt with her today.
Oh.
Anna
didn't hear that. She was
That just means
fascinated by the sound.
rare, I say to Anna. That just
Brandlebaum
means not very common.
Brandlebaum is usually very well spoken. However, Kiva, you do happen to know that he is one to never forget a grudge.
Whoa,
Okay.
lovely.
Has my family caused his any
No,
particular?
your family's smart enough to not get in his way ever.
Okay.
This is Brandlebutt.
Brandlebutt,
Yes.
yes.
Brandlebutt.
Cool.
Yeah, please do not call him that.
Anna is going to go leave the tree line and be like, so was there anyone in particular that asked for us? Also, I think I might have accidentally set a fire over there. It's very hot. Does anybody have like a
I
bucket?
put it out.
Flame
Yeah.
retardant?
All right. So who
So
else are
there's
we going to
Lord
be seeing?
Brandlebaum, who, yeah, I don't. You can also make a roll to see if you know anything else about him, Kiva. if you
Yeah,
would
let me
like.
do that. Do I add my history?
Yes. Add your history.
All right.
Would
Yes.
Senna know
That
anything about him as a half elf?
Not Brandlebaum, no.
Okay. That's just going to be an 11.
Okay, so the only thing you can remember is that Lord Brandlebaum's popular nickname is known as the Lord of the Wild Hunt.
Oh, okay.
Was there
Wild
anyone
Hunt
in
is in the Rangers, like as they appear in the D&D books, or is this a different thing?
Think more the Fae Wild Hunt.
Was
Okay.
there anyone in particular that asked for us, or was it like the entire council unanimously said this?
Well, I
Anyone
mean,
that
It
Maybe-
was
we haven't even been through most of the council members. I think we still
know.
gotta.
but was there anyone that asked for us specifically?
that would be the third council member. And
Who
to
is
that,
named-
Triana tells you about the third council member, and they are called what is their name? Let me look at my notes. 1 sec. They are called Candor. Like, yeah, like talking, like someone's candor.
Hmm.
And they're like from Divergent.
No, like someone, like how someone talks.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there is someone named Candor. Fuck. Never
Well,
mind. I'm
Candor-
changing their
I didn't
name.
know that.
Okay, yeah, because Candor is one of the
All right, give me a sec to change their name.
sections
They're
in-
not Candor anymore.
Cool.
Because I hate that
Uh,
now.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Their name is now going to be
Thistle Cheeks.
Stop! No, we're not. Oh my god.
Threll. Threll.
I like that name. Threll, who goes by
Just
pronoun.
Threll?
Just Threll.
Is that a title or their name?
That is actually not known. Everyone refers to her as Threll. Her people refer to her as
Oh.
Threll,
I thought they were
but
like,
she
they
responds
were-
to Threll. So
Okay.
no one's very sure if it's a name or a title. The reason being.
No, I'm not doing this for attention. I'm just doing it because
The reason being, Threll is a Drider.
The spider people?
Yes.
The like the spider centaurs?
Yeah, think they're half drow, half spider.
What? Wait, do they have like a spider butt?
Look up a Drider. Yep,
Oh.
that's a Drider.
Oh goodness.
That's hot.
Spider centaurs.
Okay. That's terrifying.
Threll is a Drider. She
Anna
is
is excited.
she is the head of a the best Triana can come up with is the head of a, I wouldn't want to call it a kingdom, a very large cult.
Oh, lovely.
We've dealt with plenty of those. Okay.
As there wouldn't be any other reason why you'd see her above ground. Driders are even more subterranean than drow themselves, as they view both themselves and the world around them as a cursed existence.
Aw.
What kind of
So-
people are in this cult?
Threll is the founder of the what's known as the Cult of Plenty. They were about the size of a small empire at the time that the empire dominated them, but they themselves preached a a life of peace and openness and unity, which turned out to be a facade for magical experimentation and research into the mind.
That checks out.
Threll herself does not have the spider part of her body,
Aw.
as she does not have a lower body.
What? That was not where
Oh.
I thought you were going with that at all.
Where
you-
else would he have gone with it? Like
Like
she
I
couldn't
don't
be a full.
know.
She couldn't be full drow.
I don't know. I just didn't expect
Okay.
didn't have a body.
Not, I can't say what happened to her. No one really knows. Just, it's something I wanted to make you aware of, as it is something I wouldn't mention. Threll is, as you may guess, the most difficult to deal with of the three.
So
Of
it
course.
just like float around,
You could say that.
like crawl on her elbows. Like what is?
She's...
Imagine she has some sort of magical accommodation. Um,
It's magical in a sense. She's carried
Oh, that's
by
pretty cool.
procession.
Oh,
why is Lord Thistleass related
Stop!
to the Fae? I
Every
don't-
single. This is not going
I-
to be the new Benedict Cumberbatch. I
Is-
swear to God.
Is Spiky Bottom like actually from the Feywild? I don't.
Lord Thistlebaum, as far as I can tell,
it's called
May-
Thistlebalm.
Thistlebaum,
It's
thought
a
it-
bramble.
It's Bramblebalm.
Bramblebaum, whatever.
I thought it was Brandolbaum.
Interrupting the-
Brandlebaum. Yes, Brandlebaum.
Brandlebaum. You guys are giving me wrong names and confusing me.
Good.
Lord
Please strive.
Brandlebaum,
This.
as far as I can tell, may have once been from the Feywild, but he spent his whole childhood and adult life here. My best guess, if he's connected, he would be a changeling.
Ooh,
Okay, but
Oh.
for Threll,
that's interesting.
she asked for us specifically, all four of us, and you said her cult deals with magic.
Magical experimentation, magic of the mind.
Okay.
Not much is known about them, other than the fact that their practices are generally forbidden. But
I suppose it wouldn't be too far past reasonable expectation to think that she may have some sort of powers pertaining to the reading and or intercepting of messages between the minds.
I wouldn't be altogether surprised.
Right.
Would Stena
And I
have heard
suppose that's
anything
not
of-
limited to specifically magical uses of it.
Damn.
So my abilities wouldn't be secret to her.
Yeah.
Would
so-
Stena have heard anything about her potentially in relation to the broker?
Make a history check. Or an intelligence check to just see if you can jog your memory.
Unfortunately, that's a 9.
Dang.
So you do remember Threll, actually. You remember that Threll was a very regular customer of the broker. And you
Oh,
remember that
no.
it wasn't just for people, but you don't remember what.
Rel is the Drider, right?
Threll is the Drider, yes.
Okay.
Could I roll history to see if I know anything else about Threll or the Grand Salamence Teresi?
Sure.
Thank you.
Were there 3 or 4 representatives?
Nat 20.
Ooh.
So Grand Salamence Teresi is a very isolated individual. They are a very much a religious figurehead in their kingdom, which is a theocracy, or was a theocracy. They seem to have, whenever, it is not often you hear them speak, but whenever they do speak, it is with a leaning towards seemingly an intent of the greater good, and much more of an intent to have prosperity for the greatest number of people, whether it is good or bad for the situation. They don't seem like an altogether malicious individual. And from what you have seen back at home, the efforts of their people and themselves led to quite a lot of really good charity effort and charitable work done.
What gods and or religious system is their theocracy based off of?
So their theocracy is based off of, I believe, let me double check for what this god is for. So, as far as it seems that they worship Pelor.
Okay.
Can we get a rundown of exactly what they're doing?
Pelor is the god of hope, life, and the sun.
Okay.
Seeing as they worship a sun god, they are pretty well liked in the Empire.
I imagine not very well liked by Threll and her.
Probably not.
It would seem not. But there's no obviously made clashing or infighting between the council on the surface.
Can we get a rundown of all of their pronouns? So, because
Right. Threll is a she.
Okay.
Brandlebaum is a he, and
Okay.
the Salamence is they them.
Awesome. Cool beans.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And do I know anything else about Threll either?
For Threll, you know that her cult was very much in charge of the prison systems and the penal colonies of the Empire. They seem to deal both with punishing those who are deemed unfit by the law, as well as they themselves are seemingly the ones often punished by the law.
Of course.
Although among home there is whisperings that even that in being punished by the law is part of their worship.
All the
Kinky.
Driders? Or the Cult of Plenty in
The
general?
Cult of Plenty.
Okay. It is kinky.
Kinky. Yeah.
Like in charge
Okay.
of prison systems and all that.
Okay. And so we are meeting. That's all of the council members that are here?
Those are the 3 council members, yes.
Okay. And we are meeting with them. Why would
Tomorrow
Threll
morning.
be here?
Well, so I'm still a little confused. Did they ask for us by name, or did they just say bring us people that are important?
Bring us people that aren't going to cower at our feet.
Triana ponders for a second. At first I thought it was just because the Trell didn't want to talk to ordinary townsfolk. On second thought, I'd have to believe it's because they caught word that you had all arrived in town. Because they asked for your group.
Well, I mean, they did see Anna and hear her.
Yeah, they did ask for your group, so as far as I can
And
tell, it's you in particular that they wanted.
The Grand Salamence Teresi knew me by name, which is interesting. And okay, so our only job is to try and negotiate the best deal possible for this town and its people.
Yes.
Make sure everybody's happy
If we can
and
get
we
away with
don't start a war. Good.
If we can get away with just paying what we already do, we'll be happy with that. But anything better that you can get us would be much appreciated.
Okay.
So it sounds like actually finding a way to harvest these trees would be a good use of our time.
I think it would
And
help them see value in our little community.
I did great at that. I just gotta say that. I did wonderful. It's
Um,
just that my axe was not great enough. But
So,
I
I've
did
been-
leave a great dent in it. So progress.
I've been thinking, and the monks, the monastery's in these same woods, right?
It is, yes.
Were the
It's all of
monks
the-
able to figure out anything, any way to?
The monks found a large clearing.
Okay. So did they have all their wood imported from, like, anything that they needed to use to build it?
It
Did they make the
seems like
building?
most wood is currently an import. Yeah.
Okay.
That's really expensive.
remember when
Yeah,
we were
really.
I mean, you
Extremely.
guys weren't actually like in the trees like I was, but remember when we were going up to the monastery? I went in the trees.
You found something.
The trees were trying to like
Grab you.
grab me. The trees here are very weird. Let me just say that. As a forest gnome, I would know. They're very strange.
Extremely strange.
Yeah, warm-blooded trees is not generally especially you could just hollow out a hole in this and use them as a forge. Use the like
Oh, yeah.
They might be too hot, though. They
Sure.
melted the axe heads immediately. You'd have to find another way to harness that
I mean,
energy.
she was going at it. She was getting that axe head stuck in that tree. I don't know. how
James, you know-
quick it
Yeah,
was.
pretty strong.
Potentially, that could work. I've never thought of that before. That could work.
How?
And if
Yeah.
you punch a hole straight through and have good airflow,
Yeah, that is
good.
true. Because foraging it's such an exact thing. But yeah.
But
How is there evidence that the animal life in the forest is somehow adapted that could somehow tell us how the trees are like operating, like in terms of the fungi or the plants or the things that would normally live in a tree? How do they cope with all of this, or is that just non-existent?
Why do I have to date a biologist?
I also want to know.
Why do I have to date a biologist?
I mean,
think
I
we also
can
made
speak
friends
with
with the
animals.
bio.
Tough.
Studies fungi. Okay. Anyway,
Go. Now speak science
Is it
back.
fungi?
I generally
was
say
fungi.
fungi, but
It's either. I've heard
Oh,
people
okay.
say both.
so anyway, the fungal colonies all seem to.
The fungal.
I
more
don't have
curious
speak with
about the
plants yet,
animals.
but I do have speak with animals.
oh, and I can speak to
I do
any
too.
small creatures just naturally.
We can all
'Cause
just spread
gnomes-
out.
Gnomes can just talk to small animals.
All right. From what you have observed, Stenna, as there is no one in town paying any kind of close attention to this, and Triana wouldn't give a shit. As you have personally observed Stenna, it seems that while there does not appear to be many birds or rodents burrowing into trees, as you may have been previously used to, you have noticed plenty of insect life and other such tiny things going in and out of the trees as normal.
Hmm.
Interesting. So, if well, I mean, obviously the Grand Artificer's whole thing is attracting a lot of adventurers. I imagine we could find a couple druids. Ruby, I'm sure you could help as well to sort of figure out what's going on with that.
Hmm.
I mean, the real challenge is I'm sure I could cut one of these trees down
Me
with
too.
magic, and I'm sure we could get one of them down. The issue is trying to find a way for normal people to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking, I'm sure with the resources of the council members, we could probably get a team of artificers and druids and possibly rangers to figure out some sort of arcanotech to be able to efficiently harvest these trees and
think
utilize them.
I think
What
the
if we just
idea
go to the
is that
wish
the
dungeon?
negotiations are happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I would like to try and find a way before then to harvest the trees.
What if we just go to the wish dungeon? Maybe they already have something that could chop down these kinds of trees. I mean, it
I don't
was
know if we
made
have
here.
enough time.
I mean, how long did it take for us to get there and back and then like do all the things?
It took like a couple days, I think.
Yeah, it was at least a day or two travel there.
I could fly there. Would that be faster? I could take.
I mean, you couldn't really care. You could maybe take Kiva, but
Yeah. What's the point of having 4 wings when you can't carry the entire party?
While discussing this, you all notice the young boy, who you now know is Triana's adoptive son, run into the bar with he looks like he's been running hard and working very hard. As he goes up to the bar and goes, "They're asking for the wine again," and Triana sighs.
Oh, you're muted.
Triana sighs heavily and goes, "Ugh. Did you tell them we're out?" And he goes, "I told them 3 times, but since you keep finding more, they keep not believing me."
I have an alchemy jug. What kind of wine?
He thinks
they would not be happy with alchemy jug wine.
He goes, it's a special port called it's a special vintage from Lord Brandlebaum's vineyards. It's
Can you give me a name?
Yeah, it's called the black cherry vine.
Black cherry vine. Okay. Can I try and see if my alchemy jug can produce that?
Sure. It after a little bit of concentration, as you think back as to if you've ever tasted black cherry vine before, and you've never had the chance to taste it.
Are you saying vine like the plant or vine like wine with a German accent?
Like the plant.
Okay.
Black cherry vine.
Black cherry vine.
Yeah, black cherry vine.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's actually this is how Lord Brandlebaum talks. It's the whole time.
Oh my god, I love
Of course it is.
him.
Didn't you know?
course
They are
it
from
is.
Deutschland.
Don't you know?
Yeah.
They are from Deutschland.
We're here to get pumped.
They are here for the wine.
Yeah, and the bench press. Good.
So Lord Brandlebaum's the one that's looking for the wine.
Lord Brandlebaum.
This is wine from his vineyard. You, Kiva, do vaguely remember this because you knew that this was one of the single bottles in your dad's collection.
Right.
Like he had 1 bottle of black cherry vine.
Okay.
And he didn't open it.
Can the jug produce it?
You do remember the smell, so seemingly after a little bit of thinking, yeah, something comes into your jug.
Okay. Can I have Triana taste it? Because I'm assuming she would know.
Triana, you hold it up to Triana, she sips it. Tastes like wine.
Like the wine?
I will.
Triana's too old to not be able to tell the difference.
Yeah,
you see the boy sigh and go.
I don't exactly I've never exactly had the most sophisticated palate when it comes to wines.
You see the boy sigh and grab the jug from Triana before taking a small sip himself and going, "Close enough." He turns back to you and goes, "Sorry, Mom doesn't drink. I don't know why she runs a bar."
Of course, I don't either. I can come with you if you'd like, because well, I mean, the jug is it's kind of a
sure, yeah.
Who wants the wine?
Sure. Follow me.
The officials.
I'm going with
which official?
them.
Like these, like the entire.
I think
council then?
yes, all of them.
I think all of them, yes. All right, so I'm gonna go along.
So you follow the boy.
I will follow.
He leads you back.
No, Anna, do not follow.
Anna's like, but
Ruby's gonna pull
I
Anna
wanna
aside and
follow
say,
along.
"Let's go figure out these trees."
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you follow the boy, and you seem to wander up and around a few alleys until you approach what appears to be it appears to be someone's house, but they appear to have been moved out,
Oh, okay.
as it is now flanked by guards at the entrance and at every large potentially exposed area. The guards notice the boy, and hold out a hand to stop in. Talked a little bit. Who's this? Who you bringing with you? Boy explains himself.
Kiva has their signet ring. They are good.
Yeah. And eventually, the guards let you both through. You walk in through the front door, and walking in, the first thing you hear is the sound of a bottle shattering as it appears to have been sounds like it is thrown against the wall.
Totally a safe
Lovely.
place for the child.
Yike.
The boy, seemingly unfazed, just sighs a very world-weary sigh. Seemingly
Love this
well,
child.
How
well
old is
beyond
this
his years.
kid?
He's like 14.
Why can he tell the difference between these wines?
Because he's the one who drinks all the wine to tell the difference.
Yeah, I mean, literally Triana apparently does not drink, and yet she runs a tavern. I imagine someone would have to be able to brew and or tell the difference between different
I have
alcohols.
to imagine her clientele are not generally the pickiest sort.
They're not. The boy heads upstairs with you in tow, and as you head upstairs, you hear arguing.
Interesting, spicy.
I'm
You were
gonna-
not close enough to yet make out the words, but
Okay. I want to. Okay. I imagine this would be a stealth roll. I don't want to necessarily hide. I just want to sort of make it so that they don't entirely notice me. You
Okay.
know? I imagine my tattoo would help with that because that's kind of the point of that
yes,
of the
it
tattoo.
is.
It's that specific type of stealth.
It is exactly that. So
Excellent.
you
Okay.
proceed up the stairs, trying to make yourself as much as air as possible. And as you climb up and up the stairs, the voices become clearer and clearer. You hear now two distinct voices arguing. One sounds like it should have a gruff edge, a thick German accent.
You have to do it now.
Yeah,
You've
no,
said
so
it.
You
Please.
hear two voices arguing. One you assume is Lord Brandelbaum,
Of course. Lord Brandelbaum.
Lord Brandelbaum, yeah. As he goes on to talk about, he says, "This is an absolute disgrace. You have proposed something that me and my people will not do. Now, I want you to understand. I want you to understand exactly what we know and exactly what we have on you." And at that moment, you hear him be completely cut off as a voice slides in and going, "Whatever information you may have does not matter. Pelor guides the way, and my faithful in me will see us through. Now, if you try and charge me again for something we have already paid for, I will burn you, raise your crops, and your people will feel the scorching rays of my hatred for generations to come."
Okay, the religious trauma was already telling me that the theocratic state was a bad idea. Now it's just cemented that.
You hear Lord Brandelbaum go, "My friend, listen, this is just a petty argument over a small sum of money." And as you hear, and then she goes, "Small sum? I'm sorry, you shorted me, what was it again?" And you hear a small voice, "Right, 200 billion platinum pieces. And you say a small sum?" And you hear
Kiva's ever seen that much money in their life.
Kiva has a small
No
heart.
one's ever seen that much money. That much money
Oh my-
doesn't exist.
My friend's like, you hear him go, "My friend, as I said, just pocket change. You know the things we're exchanging cannot be measured on a monetary scale." And I'm French.
On
One
a
sec.
monetary.
Back to the monetary.
Yep. Monetary.
No.
Monet. Yeah,
Okay.
play the
you know,
movie.
these things cannot be measured on a monetary scale. We have a long friendship, and this is something that will be very prosperous for us in the future. If you just let this slide a little bit, let the research be done, and once we figure out what exactly this can. And as soon as he says that, you hear a third voice interject, and this voice, much more unsettling than the other two. I would wait to speak further. It appears we have guests.
I'm
And the
really
door
sorry.
opens.
I just did the math on approximately how much real world money that is, and it has a letter in it.
Oh no! That's like, is that like to the like 10 to the, or like
I
It's
haven't done
something
a
to the
math class
power
in
of-
like
It's an
4
exponential,
or
it's
5
to the
years at this
power.
point,
yeah,
so.
but like what's the original number? Was it like 10 to the power of 12? 'Cause
If
that's
it's
It's
one
point
it's if it's
E12.
one E anything, it's one and that many zeros.
1.E12.
okay. So 1
12 zeros.
plus 12 zeros. Hang on.
How many zeros is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
900
zeros.
billion
10,
is
11,
is
12.
7 zeros or 8 zeros.
It's $1 trillion.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that
Ain't that spicy?
pocket change. All right, what are they dealing in? Souls? Okay.
So the door opens, and Kiva, you are now met by 3 peering faces. Well, you notice 3
Ooh,
faces
fix
at
my
first,
blowout.
as there are people behind them, but they do not stand out nearly as much.
Of course.
You look
The
first.
mask is
Yeah.
no nothing.
Of course. The first thing you see is the very ostentatious appearance of the Grand Salamence, as she notices you, and with a very polite and graceful nod, their head dips, and the yelling and the anger you had heard outside is nowhere to be seen.
Kiva bows to each of the 3 council members.
Of course. As you bow to the Grand Salamence, you notice that they have beautiful golden, like a white golden robes that flow down to the floor, highlighted in a darker gold color along the seams and the cuffs. They seem to wear a very ornamental headpiece that both highlights and reflects the ruby shine of their scales.
Mhm.
On each of their fingers, you see a ring. Each one is, to you, looks exactly the same, as each one is a bright yellow gemstone signifying the sun. If you asked a follower of Pelor, especially within within the Salamance's fold, they would tell you that each ring represents a phase of the sun, similar to a phase of the moon.
That's pretty spicy.
Okay, is there do I know any specific greetings from the different cultures of each of the council members?
It seems at least for the Salamance, it seems for those who are not actively worshipping members of Pelor,
Mhm.
a simple bow is perfectly suitable. You then notice Lord Brandlebaum as he stands there in looking, of the 3, the most regal. He wears a very simple but clean suit, where normally there would be tailcoats at the end. It seems like the tailcoats themselves are alive and made of plant matter, almost roots extending outward, but beautifully done. Almost as if it's manicured, groomed. His whole ensemble and color palette is a shades of brown and green, as if a part of the forest floor itself. You notice their beard is also flecked with either hints of green or actively growing moss. You're not quite sure. But they look both elegant, lithe, but worn, well worked muscles, as if it looks as if they've worked a day in their life, but still lithe, elegant, graceful like an elf. It's somewhat clashing, but also like weirdly good looking.
It's all the good parts of both.
Yeah, it is. You got very lucky.
Yeah, since usually dwarfs end up with the bad parts
Yeah.
of both.
And then you notice the figure in the center, as this is someone who at first you're like, oh, Drider, that's fine. But then you remember that they don't have the spider half of their body. Yet they're still taller
Oh
than everyone.
no. Oh no.
As they
I had a
seem,
horrible image. Oh dear.
as they seem to be, their torso, where their torso ends, seem to be resting upon a platform of some sort. This platform is very, very elegantly made out of a very dense-looking black metal and obsidian-like stone. It's reflective. It appears to be almost mechanized, as from it is coming steam and tubings of some various sort. The tubings themselves extend out and downwards, attached to some form of mask. 4 of them. Each mask very, very tightly affixed to, as best you can assume, what was once a person, encompassing their entire head.
Oh.
These 4 people are holding up this platform.
8 legs.
A platform that you now notice is carved out in the shape of a heart.
It's giving me such bad vibes and similar to like what the fucking Void Dragon unleashed.
Okay.
Ugh, we need a little less hearts in this campaign.
Honestly,
Why?
I am
Why
not
is it a
getting
heart?
I'm not getting any worse vibes from Threll than I am from the other 2. Okay.
I don't know. I like the
shocking,
German
I
one.
know.
He's
Yeah,
pretty
well,
cool.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, at least I could party with him. The rest of the other ones, I don't want to. The religious zealots and the fucking crazy murderers.
Okay. I'm simply going to smile, hold up my jug and say, I heard there was a shortage of wine.
As you say that, the Grand Salamence smiles wider and goes, oh, of course. Leave it to young Master Silverthread to bring the pleasantries and the wine. Please, if you wouldn't mind. And they gesture toward what appears to be 3 ornate goblets on the table. The table itself is seemingly immaculate. The room around it is seemingly stained with shattered glass, wine, various bottles that have been thrown about.
Okay. So, what do I call the Grand Salamence? Because I'm assuming I don't call them like your Grand Salamence. I'm assuming I call them like your Grace or something.
You would figure to either say something similar to along the lines of your Grace, your Holiness, or Lord Council Member.
Of course. Okay. Right. So, another slight bow. Of course, your Grace.
Of course. As you are now pouring the wine, you finish the Grand Salamance's jug and turn and you begin to pour the next. You finish and you pour the third. So, tell me, dear Silverthread, how fares your family?
I'm afraid I haven't spoken to them in some time.
Oh, a shame. I was quite fond of... Oh, what was his name? That cousin of yours.
Who is this speaking again?
This is the Salamance.
Okay. Eric, your Grace. I'm afraid he is no longer with us, however.
A shame. He was a devoted young lad.
Indeed.
Oh, they know you guys because you're your aunt was the fucking crazy preacher lady. That's why
Mhm.
that's why these people know you.
Was my aunt in this particular religion?
Your aunt did not worship Palor, but she absolutely kissed ass to this group. It's basically like a small religion coming up and kissing ass to the Vatican because it's the Vatican. And
Right. Okay. Yeah. Do I get any vibes from the other two? Particularly Threll, do I feel like either of them
all three of them are watching you and gauging you and assessing you and your answers.
good?
That
I'm
is
just gonna yeah.
truly a shame. I will be sure to include Eric in my prayers.
I'm sure he would appreciate that.
But I must ask then, with Eric gone, then has anything strange happened with you?
Strange, Your Grace?
Oh, you know, Trell, what was it again? Do remind me. And you hear Trell pop up. Oh, have you had an interest in swords lately? Have you found had an object handed to you before that you don't quite know what it is?
What the fuck?
I don't believe so. I mean, I'm assuming you're referring to the trials historically that my family had when it comes to inheritance. I've always been an avid reader of the historical tomes. I've always had an interest in my ancestral sword and the claim that comes with it. But as far as objects that I don't quite know what they are, I don't believe so.
I too, Lumen, do not like this.
He's just watching like a horror stream. I'm sorry. But no, I believe I have been generally I've had an idea of what things that have been handed to me are. And
Well,
I don't have to roll deception because I'm not lying.
I am so very relieved to hear that.
Wait, what is the thing? If you think you know what
Well, I
so
imagine I know
confused.
what it does. It's not exactly a thing. It's
Oh, I
kind
just
of
remembered
like the
that it's like the
concept of
thing from the beginning
infinity.
of the yeah, I just remembered
Yeah.
that we got that explanation. I forgot about that entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so
It has been a while.
very relieved to hear that. We wouldn't want such a newly free young spirit to be tied down with such old and boring political baggage, now would we?
I hardly consider it boring, Your Grace. In fact, I've always had a certain interest in particularly the historical aspects of politics. If you'll forgive my boldness.
Of course. No, it would be silly of me to assume otherwise. The Silver Threads have always had a nose for history and an eye on the goings-on of the world. It's a very good character trait, I feel. One makes one ambitious. But of course, ambition gone too far can have a cost. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, without a doubt, Your Grace.
I'm glad you agree with me, young Silverthread. It seems like we would be able to get along.
I'm sure, Your Grace. I want to look to like the other two, sort of gauge their reactions to this conversation.
You look at the other two.
I want all of them to like me.
You look at the other two.
Ruby will not like talking to these people.
Oh no, I know.
Anna will be deeply confused.
I'm
Ruby
just
will
gonna make sure
understand
that
and deeply hate everything about it.
And I'll just be like, it feels like you're saying something, but you're not saying it. How about
Oh
you
my god.
woman up? Just
Lord Brandlebaum,
Lord
seemingly.
Brandelbaum.
Lord Brandlebaum. Yeah.
Brandelbaum.
He's
Yeah.
Lord Brandlebaum offers you a pilsner.
A nice Hefeweizen.
Yeah, a nice Hefeweizen and a good Bratwurst. He is seemingly looking with a completely blasé expression and a vacant grin on his face.
I imagine he just likes that I brought them more wine.
He's
How
Threll-
about yeah.
Threll is staring directly at the Grand Salamence.
Does she react to me looking at her in any way?
There is a moment where you can swear that she glances back at you, or they glance back at you, but then she looks back.
Okay.
Um,
I'm just going to sort of take a step back now that I've filled all the wine.
With that, thank you, young Silverthread. I will eagerly await to talk with you in the morning.
Of course. I bow to each of them again, saying, Your Grace, my lord, Threll. And then I'm assuming Lucas and I
Threll.
take our leave. That is either their title
Crazy
or not.
spider-
We don't
crazy
have a
spider
title for
person.
them.
As
know.
you turn to leave, Threll calls out, Young promising one.
Gross.
Yes.
Gross, indeed.
Threll?
You will remember where your loyalties lie, won't you?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. It feels weird just to keep calling them Threll. Is there any other, like, referring? Okay. I'm sure I don't know what you mean, Threll.
Your intimidating one.
Oh, Spidiness.
Well, I'm so very pleased to hear that. We are all so
Self-awareness.
eagerly keeping an eye on your continued growth and of your friends.
Thank you. And then I'm assuming that I'm excused.
You may now leave.
Okay, so yeet. That's sus as hell.
Kiva now feels their heart pounding in their chest.
While they were doing
I
that-
think I may have been wrong about who kidnapped us.
Anna's been trying to fight a tree this entire time.
Good.
While they were doing that and Anna was fighting a tree that's
And
going
it's
to burn
been-
her alive,
Anna's just
I'm
been
going to go
punching and be
talk
like,
to
power,
Remus and see
power,
if they
power.
know anything about these trees
Sure.
or how to harvest them.
So
Stunna will go with, because she was thinking of that anyway.
as you mentioned, the trees to the Remus.
To the
Remus.
Remus.
To Remus,
The Remus.
they think about it for a minute, and then they go, you know, now that you mention it, there was something quite odd about these trees.
You don't say.
They didn't try to burn you alive? You
No,
mean?
I always didn't really. I was always able to move it all to the side and just, you know.
Just bad.
Interestingly
What?
enough, they actually seemed to work with me once I was gentle enough. It almost made it easier than normal trees.
What the hell is Remus?
Anyway, I think I can help. Yeah, I have an idea.
I would love to hear it. Our main issue right now is I mean, we have enough powerful people that we could chop down some trees, but we need to make a sustainable way for these regular
Yeah.
people to do it.
I think the most important thing would be to develop find some kind of material that can withstand the sap of the tree.
I have an
Wait.
idea.
I
Yeah.
thought of it immediately. I knew.
Your metal thing.
And Alana's arm.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, obviously, we can't just use her arm all the
Alana,
time.
give me your arm.
But
Give me your arm. We're turning it into an axe.
cool. Can I spend some time shaping this metal into I don't have very much of it, so it couldn't be very big. So I guess an axe would be probably the biggest thing I could make.
Yeah,
but
you can.
I was thinking I couldn't make one of those 2-person saws with it, which would. But
You could. It's just the whole axe wouldn't be able to be made of it. The blade, like the actual sharp part of the blade.
It could be like those diamond tipped saws.
Yeah, the sharp part
except,
of the blade.
but once you get into the middle of the tree, the rest of it will melt.
Yeah, that's what you got to figure out there.
I guess we could make one of those like saw cables that they use to cut through like handcuffs and stuff. But
When the bone
that-
saws.
I don't- yeah.
Like the wires that you cut clay with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it'd be strong enough to crack through the outer shell of the tree.
Well, if we make it serrated, then it doesn't need to be that as strong, and it has proven to be fairly flexible. So yeah, I think actually I would want to get Alana and see if who helped her make her arm, because I'm assuming they're like in town, right?
Yeah. When you last checked, they were still in town.
Cool.
You just never asked who it was.
Yeah. Where is Alana right now? I mean,
Lana should be in her tent.
cool. I'm gonna head over to her tent.
Okay.
I think I'm walking in thinking about all the different things that would be good to make, but not necessarily about how much metal I have. So I'm like, I walk into the tent and I'm like, we need to make a big saw out of this.
Always one to try the impossible, aren't you, Ruby?
I guess I should probably explain. The trees are crazy here. They're like
just crazy.
lava inside.
I can't say it surprises me.
Okay. Who helped you make your arm? Are they in town still?
Oh yeah, I can bring you to him.
Cool. Let's go there, because I have to meet with political people tomorrow, and I don't want to. But we have some stuff that if we can make a way for the people to harvest these trees, then that would be helpful.
Oh no, of course. Honestly, I understand. I hate politics. It's part of why I wanted to become a monk. I could get away from it all, but no, I can't. Anyway, follow me. And
Cool.
Alana leads you around to various tents until eventually, you get to a large but unkept tent on the far side of town that appears to be some kind of like it's like a gathering hall or like a bar. Like the best equivalent would modern day like saloon where people go, they drink, they got pool tables, I don't know, it's like a gathering place.
Yeah.
And she walks in and, greeting various people, and eventually she walks to the back, and as you walk to the back, you hear a loud voice going, "No, my friend, what you don't understand is that the
German.
drink here."
Wow, Thistlebottom?
And you
How'd you
walk
guess
and are
his
face to
name?
face with Lord Thistlebaum, who is bright red in the face, deep in conversation.
Brendelbaum.
I definitely did
Brandlebaum.
not say that out loud.
Deep in conversation with another person who appears to be completely lost on what they're saying, but just enjoying the fact that they're drinking, and they have no idea who they're talking to. It's like a villager. And he's like, but what you don't understand is the composite, the makeup of the wine is so fine. We have to treat every berry with respect, as it makes the flavor so much better. And in the end, the drink,
You're
my
just
friend,
shooting the
drink.
wine.
In the end, it leaves you with an unforgettable experience. Finish up. Yes. And you see the villager finish their drink, put it down, and pitch over backwards. Happens with all of them, lightweights. A new friend, hello!
I
What can
really
do
hope that
for
Anna
you?
gets a drink with this man. I really hope Anna gets a drink with this man.
I think
it
Anna's
would be wonderful.
currently hitting a tree.
Yeah, no, Anna is just like punching at the trees, still saying power, 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 like so earnestly.
You see them first stand up, give Alana a big hug, a kiss on the cheek, very European,
Mhm.
and then turn to you and go, I've heard much about you. What is it, young gemstone? Rubies, that's right.
Aw.
I've
That
heard
is correct.
quite a lot about you in my hours tinkering with my new master.
I think Sapphire is perched on my shoulders, like wrapped around.
Now then, please do tell me, what is it I can do for you?
Well, I was hoping to have this maybe sorted out before I met with any of you, but I had an idea about how we could potentially start harvesting the trees around here.
Now that is potentially very interesting. Very well. I can help with this, and I'll even keep it to myself, so you can use it as a bargaining chip.
Thank you very much. It has to do with this, and I just pull out the chunk that I've taken off of my quarterstaff. I believe you've worked it with this before to make Alana's arm.
I did. Well, and he looks to this, and he looks at Alana's arm, and I think I can help you. I have one teensy-tiny condition, though, before I help.
What is it?
It's, I believe, Alana told me you went through quite the experience in the monastery.
I'm afraid you'd have to be more specific. A lot of things have happened.
Yeah, as I was told, you went through and things were quite weird. No?
Yeah, they were. It seems as if a monster from the dreaming was able to work its way in.
I don't know if you have heard or not, but I am one for the strange and the unknown. I would love for you to tell me in as much detail as you can possibly muster everything that happened there. It's simple trade, no? An entertaining story for a well-crafted axe.
I do
Sure.
not trust this guy
Yeah.
at all.
So if you do tell the story, I'll be extremely disappointed if you don't mention how vital to the situation Anna's rope was. Just like
Yes.
absolutely
It
vital.
was
Okay.
immediately useless.
Immediately useful.
Here's what you do. Rather than telling him like he said every detail, tell him every detail.
All right. So to wrap it up, so you
Bore
can
him.
so you can go.
I actually do. I made a spell for the campaign I'm running. I'll text it to you later. It's perfect for this situation.
Awesome. He goes, well, I assume we have a deal. I greatly look forward to hearing another exciting story.
Wonderful.
and we'll continue next week.
Sick.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
thanks
ho, ho.
everybody.
I
that
love
has been
politics.
watching.